All of us have heard the types of personalities. These are very interesting. Even in my research, I found there are 4 types instead of where I was just thinking there was 2. It's A, B, C, and D. There's actually even another type called type X, which is a combination of 2 or more of the other personality types. If you're interested, I'm going to leave that for your research. But have you ever heard of the types of ornaments? Several years ago, my family and I were sitting around the eating table, and I had a table centerpiece of 3 types of ornaments. And we began to relate these types of ornaments to the types of believers. So today I want to share with you those 3 types of ornaments and which type of ornament would the Lord want you to resemble. Stay tuned. Most homes probably already have the Christmas tree sitting up in the main living space and adorned with lights and all types of ornaments. There are 3 ornaments that may be on your tree that I want to relate to believers. Let's talk about that. The first one is a dull finished ornament. It has no luster. It usually just blends into the tree. Have you ever met a believer like that? That resembled this dull finished ornament? They've lost their luster and their joy. Perhaps they're looking downright miserable. They have no positive effect of anyone in the room. This believer either has blended in with the surroundings, or they stick out because they're like the Scrooge, mumbling humbug, which makes everyone in the room miserable or very uneasy. These believers who are like a dull finished ornament, they absorb more than they reflect. Then there's a second type of ornament. This type of ornament is that shiny ornament. Do you have any of those on your Christmas tree? They reflect the light of the tree as well as other objects that are on the tree or even in the room. This type of believer stands out among the crowd. They bring light into the world when they enter the room, and everyone is exposed to the light. Even evil is exposed to the light that is illuminated by these shining believers. Their lives around them are enriched for the moment by this believer. This is a great life to live. However, there's that third ornament. That third ornament, I believe, brings new meaning to you are the salt of the earth, you are the light of the world. This third ornament is covered with glitter. If you pick it up, you have glitter on your hands, and everything you touch after that, you have glitter on. You put glitter on your face, you put glitter on your cup, your kitchen counter, others that you touch. You know what I mean. You've dealt with that glitter before. Off of that glitter ornament comes all types of glitter, and it just sticks to your hands, and then it begins to move on to everything else you touch after that. This type of believer, a glittery believer, resembles the shiny one that we just mentioned. However, unlike that shiny one, the glittery believer touches those around them in such a way that it influences those people's lives even after the believer has left, even after that particular glittery believer has left their presence. In other words, they leave part of the light behind, just like glitter. They rub off on those who come in contact with them, so that even years later, when you reflect on being in their presence, it still has a positive effect on you. Perhaps this believer prayed with you, or perhaps they just made you search your own life to the point that you sought God to make some changes in your life. You came in contact with this believer, made not only a momentary difference in your life, but it left a lasting impression on you, which led to a permanent positive difference in your life. This is truly being the salt of the earth and the light of the world. So which ornament describes you best? Do you resemble the dull ornament which has no luster or joy? The shiny ornament which lights up the room for the moment? Or the glittery one which continues to give light even after you have left the room? Well, when we look at Matthew 5:13 and 14, where Jesus talks about you are the salt of the earth, you are the light of the world, I would say that Jesus wants us to resemble that glittery ornament. So I challenge us all, not only during the Christmas season, but every day of our lives, to seek to be like the glittery ornament, leaving some glitter in each of the lives that cross our paths. I want to share a couple of scriptures with you today, and it's in Ephesians 5:8 through 10. It says, "For once you were full of darkness, but now you have light from the Lord. So live as people of light, for this light within you produces only what is good and right and true. Carefully determine what pleases the Lord." And then let's look at Colossians 4:5 and 6. Colossians 4:5 and 6. "Live wisely among those who are not believers, and make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be gracious and attractive, so that you will have the right response for everyone." Let's start today being that glittery ornament, leaving some glitter everywhere we tread.